Zig Ziglar said, "It does not matter what happens to you in life. What matters is what you do to react to it." Fellow CBC students, the first thing you need to know about me is that I am an eternal optimist. When life gives me lemons, I make lemon juice, lemon pie, lemon meringue. I firmly believe that here at CBCC, you have the keys to a successful future in the education opportunities you have available to you. In my own life, I've achieved a few academic degrees myself. Went to high school, went to college, got a BS in chemistry, an MS in Stony Brook in chemistry, and a PhD from UVA, and most recently, a master's in business administration from Lynchburg College. My mom was worried I was the eternal student as well as the eternal optimist. But you know, to get those 4 advanced degrees, it took a long time and many years of sustained effort. The next thing you need to know about me is that I firmly believe that education in a school setting is not enough to guarantee you success and happiness in life. You first need to get an education, but then you need to get a real education. What do I mean by that? We used to call that the school of hard knocks. You need to learn what it is in school that applies to the real world. You need to learn what it is you didn't learn in school and apply it to the real world. You need to take your learning and refine it until it becomes useful to others. Every success that I've had has been a combination of people realizing that I knew something that I could offer them, and me being humble enough to learn from them what it is that was valuable, and my caring enough about what happens to other people to make sure that the final result of what I was doing was valuable to them. Let me share with you my story and my secrets of success. You know, Henry Ford once said that if you believe you can, you're right. And if you believe you can't, you're right. In both cases, what you believe determines the outcome of your efforts. And so that's why you need to be positive and grounded in spite of everything else that might be going on in your life. You see, nothing happens without effort. And none of your efforts will last long if they're not grounded in a positive foundation. If you have a moment to reflect upon this truth, you will know that at the heart of every successful effort, there are many more small efforts and many more sustained efforts until success comes around. But until that day happens, get used to a lot of failures, a lot of half efforts, and eventually you will see the end will come. But until then, life is a cycle, a daily grind of things that are not working out for you. And, you know, day after day, if you get used to seeing that, if day after day all you see is things not happening, you can get used to that pretty quickly. Days, months, weeks go by, and you say, why should I even try? Why should I even go to school? Why should I apply for that job? Why should I not try to get that interview? Let me just stay where I am and stop doing what I'm doing and just take it easy, take the slow road and stop beating my head against the wall. Yes, staying where you are right now is comfortable, but you'll never get to where you wanted to go. Failure is a much more common and persistent thing, and much even more normal than success. So why not be normal? Well, I'm here to tell you that after a lifetime of learning, I'm not done learning, and I will never stop trying to be a better person. So, let me say to you, can you make your attitude more positive than it is today? And a habit so deeply ingrained that you can survive until success does come your way one day. Stay positive as long as humanly possible. Keep the flame of positivity burning bright inside you. Maintain a healthy attitude about failure. Get used to it, but don't be discouraged by it. Don't complain about your failures. No one cares about your trouble, so get over it. And stay active. If nothing else is happening, stay active. Get out of the house. Do things. Attend seminars. Go to school. Take advantage of the free training opportunities that are here at CVCC, like this seminar right now. Along the way in my life, I worked every day since I was able to work. I've never had a day without work. And along the way, I've had to earn some money in order to pursue my dream that one day I could have a pretty good job with a decent salary and a career. And now, as a senior product development scientist at CV Fleet, I have succeeded in publishing 6 patents and launched over 20 new products and generated millions of dollars for the company that I work for. But prior to getting that job, I worked at another job, making antiperspirants and water treatment chemicals. And it was a little harder job, and not as much recognition, and not as much success. But I couldn't have gotten this job if I hadn't done that other job. So sometimes you have to kiss a few frogs before you meet the prince. In my case, before I meet the princess. My career required years of sustained effort to acquire the skills that made it possible to make important contributions now here in Lynchburg. So my next advice is to diversify. All during graduate school, I taught classes in chemistry to undergraduates to earn money, but teaching provided me a second career. At Orange County Community College and now at CVCC, I am an adjunct professor of chemistry in the evening, teaching classes after a busy day of work. I'm happiest when I'm busy. When my hands are full of things to do, that's when I am most engaged. I am most positive when I am around people like yourselves, who are also pursuing their own degrees while working in part-time or full-time positions during the day. My next advice is to learn to subscribe to the Learning Channel. What do I mean by the Learning Channel? I mean acquire an attitude of learning for your whole life, learning every day. We live at a time when it is possible, by picking up your cell phone, by going to a computer, to learn anything as soon as you want it, as fast as you want it, and as much detail as you want it. The information is literally at your fingertips. But let me repeat this. We can learn anything we want. But how do you know what is important to learn? If you follow my logic that learning is the foundation to a successful life, then you will understand that an attitude of lifelong learning is so important to maintaining a successful life. Learning never ends. I learned early on that whenever I learned anything, it quickly became old. And so I had to learn something new if it was going to maintain its value. Unless I was willing to be a student every day, what I learned yesterday was yesterday's news and less valuable to anyone else. If you keep learning your learning channels open, you will learn something important from everyone you meet. And so that comes to my next point. Learn from your harshest critics. Your harshest critics can give you the best feedback, but only listen to the parts of their message where you can make a difference and a change. Your friends will never tell you to lose weight, to take a bath, to dress better, to stop talking trash. Your harshest critics are your most honest critics. If you listen carefully, what your harshest critics are telling you is something you can do something about. If you listen carefully and separate the garbage from the useful things, there is something you might do and act on and change and make better. So you can lose weight, so you can take a bath, so you can dress better, so you can talk better, so you can be a better person. Too many people listen to the first part of the message. You're not anything good, you're not worthwhile, and not listen to the second part of the message. You need to change the following behaviors. And if you do, then what you will get is the result of success, of being a better person. Which leads to my next part, communication. Communication is the key to all happiness. Whether you think you're successful or not, starts in your own mind and your feeling about yourself and your ability to communicate your success to others. Living here in Lynchburg, you have the opportunity to go over and visit the News and Advance newspaper. And in the foyer, there's a picture of a lonely old man carrying newspapers. And the picture of the old man with the papers in his hand, his back leaned over on a rainy street somewhere in Lynchburg, doesn't really give justice to the story of how this old man every day would get out of his house and go down the roads of downtown Lynchburg delivering newspapers. It turns out that over a lifetime, this man had acquired a fortune of over $1 million and became known as the Lonely Man and the subject of that famous painting. I've learned that you can meet people all around in every place who are willing to share with you the secrets of their success. To make a stronger link with those people, you need to stop, smile, and listen. Because you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, listening is twice as important than it is speaking. And if you can hear their story, inside of their story is how what they've learned in their life is something that you can also learn in your life. But when you do go out to deliver a message, you need to write it down, practice it often, because something worth doing is something worth doing right. Now here at Lynchburg here at CVCC, we have a Toastmasters Club that meets Tuesdays and Thursday nights between 6:30 and 8 o'clock. You are all welcome to join this club, to find your voice, become a member of Toastmasters, and practice your own communication skills. You know, you never fail to strive. You should never fail to strive to make a good impression, because you will not often get a chance to make a second good impression. Another thing that I've learned in public speaking is that when you talk to people, you need to share with them how much you care about what's going on in their lives. People can sense your sincerity or the lack thereof. If you strive to be effective with people, you must first listen to their concerns, understand what is important to them, be generous with praise, and very stingy with negative comments that will come back to you. Because negativity never does accomplish anything. I've learned that nothing gained is nothing lost. I've been a volunteer over the years for many organizations, including Special Olympics, and helped in fundraising for the American Cancer Society, American Red Cross, United Way. And I've learned that giving of yourself is very rewarding. It's another way to grow yourself, get out of your comfort zone, and it's your responsibility as a good citizen. Getting very personal, I've learned to be hearty in your approbation and generous in your praise. You know, nothing works faster, better, or more effectively with other people than a recognition of how great they are. People love to hear how they are being recognized and appreciated. Praise is the currency of human relationships. And for the most part, honest praise is free to the person giving it, but it is priceless to the person receiving it. Use personal affirmation statements every day. The power of the subconscious mind is truly a miracle. All successful efforts begin with a positive thought. When you're feeling down, give yourself a positive pick-me-up. Take your own advice. Use affirmation to jumpstart your engine. Say out loud in the morning as you get out of bed. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. There is an author well known by the name of Stephen R. Covey, and he has written a number of books about the 7 habits of highly effective people. In his book, he talks about the necessity to plan your activities in the course of a day. If you're going to be successful, if you're going to be motivated and laser focused, you need to decide what it is that you're going to do today with the time available to you. You know, we all have 24 hours in the day, but the truly successful people are able to cram more of the more valuable activities out of those 24 hours. So what Stephen R. Covey suggests you do is to make a list of all your activities and then to categorize them in this way. Some of your activities are important. Some of your activities are less important. Some of your activities need to be done today, and some of your activities can wait till tomorrow. And so if we talk about these activities as 1, 2, 3, and 4, you need to be sure every day that your important tasks that need to be done today, you're working on them. So things like feeding yourself, taking care of your hygiene, getting plenty of sleep, driving safely to where you're going to and coming from, studying for that test tomorrow. May not be done today, it could be done tomorrow. But if you do it today, the result of studying for that test will give you a better result. The things that are less important, watching the movies that don't need to be done today, perhaps you should put them off till tomorrow. Do you see what I'm saying? That if you recognize what's important that needs to be done today and you do it today, and if you recognize the things that are less important and need to be done tomorrow and you do them tomorrow, you prioritize your life and you make possible a successful effort, long sustained effort. If you stay motivated and laser focused by understanding what your priorities are and adjusting your life therein, you will have a much better outcome. Now for the long term, let me suggest that you take yourself a 3x5 index card. And on one side of the card, you write 3 things that you would like to accomplish in your life in the next 6 months. Write them down in order of how passionate you feel about them. And on the reverse side of the card, you write, what is it you're willing to do in order to achieve those actions? And then put that card away and revise it. Come back to that card in 6 months. And the funny thing is that if you can write down what it is that you feel passionate about, and if you can commit to a plan of staying motivated and laser focused on the things that matter most to you, that over the next 6 months, like magic, those things that you put on that card are more likely to get done. You see, you've recognized the power of planning and organization. You've tied your kite to the power of the subconscious mind, and you align yourself with those things that you feel most strongly about. But it's not all words, it's action. Because if you don't act on those things that are important to you, you will never see anything coming at the other end. There was a young man who approached an old monk, and he said, "Sir, I would like to be successful in my endeavors." And the monk looked at the young man and said, "Meet me tomorrow at the beach." So at dawn, the young man was there, the monk was there, and they walked along the path, and they talked about what was important to the young man. What was it that the young man was looking to achieve in his life? At some point, they approached a pier, and then together they walked out on the pier. And the old man told the young man to close his eyes and think about and imagine what it is that he would like to accomplish in his life. And the young man did. And the old monk asked him, "How strongly do you want what it is that you're looking after?" And the young man thought for a minute, and he was troubled. And he really couldn't think of what it was. The next thing you know, the old man pushed the young man off the pier into the water. And the young man struggled and took a few breaths of air, gulped down some water, and then swam back to the pier. The young man said, "Why did you do that? Why did you push me into the water?" And the monk said, "Think about what you were thinking. What were your thoughts as you went into the water?" The young man said, I was thinking about everything you asked me to think about. I was thinking about what it was I wanted to achieve in my life, just as you had asked me to. The old man said, did you take a breath of air? The old man said, yes, I took a breath of air. Did you want me to die? Breathing is important. The old man said, when you believe in the power of your dreams as much as your desire to take a breath, then you will be successful.